Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Hannah and on this channel I post a lot of anti-MLM content. Linked here for you is a playlist with over 100 anti-MLM videos on it, and if you like this kind of content, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, consider liking this video. All those things really help to support my channel and I appreciate you so much for doing that. Today I'm bringing you another MLM top fails video, and it has been, I think, months since I've done one of these. I didn't realize it had been so long. I didn't mean to take that big of a break from it. And additionally, this is the 50th top fails video in that playlist. So I have my big anti-MLM playlist, but I also have one specific to top fails type videos if you're really into these. For these videos, I go through my Google Drive, I go through my email, and I pick and choose different photos, video clips, Instagram Reels, TikToks, pretty much anything that people have sent to me that would be otherwise considered a huge fail in the multi-level marketing industry. The purpose of these videos is to show this content that MLM reps will post on social media, and we talk about them, we debunk them, and discuss kind of the manipulation tactics, the sales tactics, the recruitment strategies they use, all those kinds of things. So in saying that, if you come across anything on social media that you think is kind of funny, it points out something really unique and interesting about the industry of multi-level marketing, feel free to send it my way to include in a video. The instructions for how to do that are in the description box of every single video. It does require you to send it to me on Google Drive, just so I can keep things very organized. Please don't be intimidated by Google Drive. I give you step-by-step instructions down there. With all of that being said, let's look at the insanity that's been sent to me recently. The first thing I have to show you, this is a Monate rep, and she's giving us kind of a recap of the notable things that happened at Nations this year. Nations is Monate's annual convention. This happened last month in September, and it's a big event where reps within the company can pay, I think it's like over $200 or something insane. You can pay a couple $100s for your ticket. You can attend this conference. It's usually over the weekend, and it's this big event full of hype and guest speakers. They typically launch a new product. They typically give you some kind of trajectory as to the future of the company and why you want to be involved with it and get you really excited. So here's somebody who's been in the company for a few years. She went to Nations and now she's getting on her Instagram story giving us a recap of what she learned.
So freaking good to be home, but honestly, you guys, that trip, that Nations was hands down the best one I have ever been to, better than last year's in Atlanta. And in 2023, we have one in California, in LA. And I know that that one is going to top the one that I just got back from, because every year it gets better and better. And you come back home from these events feeling just so inspired, so motivated, so moved, so ready to help other people, so ready to pour to others.
So brainwashed, so full of hope and short-lived excitement. But in all seriousness, I think that these big MLM conventions serve the purpose to, as I say, reinvigorate the reps, get them re-pumped up, re-inspired. Because what is this event really? It's 3 straight days of all these like self-help speeches. They have all these motivational speakers. In this case, Tony Robbins was one of the motivational speakers. And then they're having these big ceremonies where they're praising people at the top of the company and calling them on stage and giving them their moment in the spotlight. And in combination, what all these things kind of serve to do over this 3-day period is brainwash those in attendance into believing that this opportunity is actually a legitimate way to make significant money, and that you can have that rags to riches story, and that if you just work hard enough and you just believe long enough that you can make it, that eventually you will. As we know, it's nearly impossible to make any money in an MLM scheme, simply because in order to make money, you have to build a team and recruit people. And eventually there's not any more people to recruit. And this company going on their 8th year, and they've had kind of this massive growth with the pandemic and recruiting all these people all at once. The recruitment pool is dried up right now, and it is very difficult for people to actually grow their teams and make any money. But then you go to these conventions and you hear people like Tony Robbins telling you that it's all about your mindset and your determination and your hard work. And if you just stick it out long enough, and if you just want it bad enough, that it will come to you. That is the fallacy that people fall for when they attend these conferences. These events do a spectacular job at making a spectacle of the very, very few successful people at the tippy top, and then everybody else who's sitting in the audience leaves that event feeling this renewed sense of hope that one day they will be the ones being praised on the stage at Nations. It's very weird, it's very culty, and in my opinion, these kinds of conventions hosted by MLM companies are are just massive brainwashing sessions, and they serve the purpose to get everybody excited again so that they don't quit, because you can't have people quitting or else the company's gonna crumble. So really, these events are very essential to be hosting. Pretty much every MLM has an annual conference or convention of this kind. So all of that to say, it's funny to see her being like, I just feel so excited and hopeful and ready to go and hit the ground running after Monations. And I'm like, perfect, it worked. Congratulations. The manipulation tactics and the brainwashing worked. You are admitting that.
It's just like, I have never experienced anything like that in my entire life, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. So while we were on this trip, a couple huge things happened, okay? To name a few of them. Launched in New Zealand. We came out with a BB cream, which I'm so stoked about, and we came out with a new hair care line for growth, okay?
Let's break down these three things a little further. They launched in New Zealand, they launched a new BB cream, and they launched a new growth hair care line. Okay, that's what she said. Number one, they launched in New Zealand. Monat has this trend of kind of launching in a new country every year, and they typically announce that country at Monations. Last year, I believe they launched in Australia. That was their big announcement. And it's promoted kind of as this way of like, look at us, we're expanding, we're going global. Look at how legit we are of a company. But whenever I see an MLM company announcing that they're launching in a new country, I think of it in terms of supply and market saturation. Of course they have to launch in new countries constantly, because this is a recruitment-based business opportunity, and the company only survives if you continually recruit. You only stay afloat if you constantly have people signing up. So at some point, the market of people to pitch to in any given country is going to dry up, and you're going to have to expand and go look elsewhere for new people to recruit. Logically, it only makes sense that MLM companies have to continually expand outside of their current realm. But the reps promote it in such a way that they're like, look at us, we belong to the best, most revolutionary company in the world, and we're constantly expanding and we're going global. In fact, Monat's full name is Monat Global, okay? The reps have this attitude that I'm sure was taught to them at Monations when they're promoting expanding to new countries, but they have this attitude of like, look at us, we're taking over the world, and look at how far we're expanding. No, sis, you're in a pyramid scheme and you have to expand to keep the scam alive. That's how this works. Okay, so that was point number one. They're going to New Zealand. Great. Point number two that she made is that the company is launching a BB cream product. This is alarming to me as an outsider because Monat is a hair care company. What are they doing releasing a BB cream? I say this all the time, but companies often start out in one kind of product market, and over time, just as they're kind of forced to expand to new countries, they're kind of forced to expand to new product markets as well, for the sole purpose of keeping their own reps interested and keeping their own reps buying. If we kind of look at the history of the Monat products, they started as a hair care line, then they expanded to skincare, then they expanded to wellness products, and now it looks like they're kind of creeping into cosmetics. I guess you could maybe categorize a BB cream under the skincare, but I would argue to say that more cosmetics companies sell BB cream than skincare companies do. So who knows? I feel like this is kind of riding that line, and I wouldn't be surprised to see in the future that they come out with cosmetics. But who are the first people in line to buy these new products when they launch every year? The reps themselves. They're in this big arena. They're seeing the new product come up on the Jumbotron. Oh my God, we're selling a BB cream! And of course they just have to have it, right? They have to try it out. And the reps themselves are the first customers of every single product launch. Because think about it, if Monat truly had these fantastic hair care products that there is a huge demand for from people outside the company, from actual retail customers, they would stick to hair care. Why would they branch out into skincare, wellness, cosmetics? They wouldn't need to do that. You don't see Redken selling probiotic pills. You don't see Olaplex selling facial cleansers. You don't see Living Proof selling makeup. Actual reputable high demand brands don't feel the need to branch out into a product market that isn't their specialty. But that's exactly what Monat does, and honestly that's what a lot of MLMs do. Very few MLM companies out there just pick a product line and stick with it for decades to come, okay? Because these MLM companies thrive on selling their products primarily to to their own representatives, to their own salespeople, rather than actual legitimate outside retail customers. So great, Monat launches a BB cream. I guarantee you that people outside the company do not care at all because Monat's not a cosmetics company, okay? I would not go to a hair care company to buy makeup. I'm just saying. But the company will definitely make a quick buck off of their own reps. Okay, moving on. The third and final thing she said is that they launched a new hair care line for growth, which is funny because they didn't actually. That is false. They did launch a new hair care line, but it's called IR Clinical, which stands for the Intense Repair Clinical line. And this is a thickening hair care line, okay? It claims to strengthen and thicken hair while preventing damage. These are not hair growth products. They are not marketed towards promoting growth. This is a thickening hair care line, not a growth hair care line. So it's pretty alarming to me that somebody who's supposed to be a salesperson of these products and for this company is coming on their Instagram story and saying, hey, we promoted a new growth hair care line. And she doesn't even have an understanding of what this new product line is actually claiming to do. But at the same time, it's not really the least bit surprising to me that she doesn't know what's going on here because they're not given any kind of training. And they're really not in any way qualified to be educating the customer on their products either. You don't have to know anything about anything to join Monat. You just have to have the money for the starter kit and be 18 years old. That's it. So her not even fully understanding the kind of product her company just launched is pretty par for the course for MLM reps. What we're seeing happening right here is she's sitting in her car on her Instagram story trying to remember what she heard from the hype up promo video at Monations, which apparently she's remembering incorrectly because it's not a growth hair care line, but go off.
You guys are going to be absolutely mind blown. Like seriously, what Monat did is changing the hair game forever. Honestly, forever. Okay, so Monat partnered with the University of Miami's Medical Center, and they did clinical studies on hair and on scalp. They used patients that were suffering from medical conditions like alopecia, post-COVID hair loss, stress, hormonal issues. Okay, so they did it was like an 1,800 person clinical study, and what they found from our clinical intense repair line. Okay, that's what this new line is called. It comes with shampoo, conditioner, and a scalp serum. What they found is that this line creates 92% less hair fallout, and it will make your hair grow. It will make your hair grow. Like, it is clinically proven to make your hair grow and to create 92% less fallout.
Where do I even begin with the misinformation here? She admits that she is indeed talking about this intense repair clinical line that has a shampoo, a conditioner, and a serum. That's the same one we're talking about too, okay? The one that's for thickening and not growth. But she claims that these results of this new product line are coming from an 1,800 person clinical study conducted at the University of Miami Medical Center. Okay, that's a lot of buzzwords. I was like, sweet, that's really searchable. I should be able to find this no problem. And when I tell you that I Googled every combination of 1,800 person study, University of Miami Medical Center, Monat hair care, Monat clinical trial, Monat intense repair clinical line, nothing came up. Nothing came up. And maybe that's just because it's not out there, it's not published, it's not public knowledge, I don't know. Just because I wasn't able to find it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But something else I find very interesting is that on the Monat website, under this intense repair clinical line, they have descriptions about what it claims to do and the results of their supposed studies or trials. But on the Monat website, under the description for these products, it says that their study consisted of 39 women, ages 18 to 70, okay? And I'll link this webpage below. Maybe you can find it, I couldn't. Nowhere on this entire webpage does it say anything about University of Miami Medical Center. I couldn't find anything about the supposed group of 1,800 people included in this study. So genuinely, I have no idea where she's pulling that information out of. I can only assume that maybe that was promoted somewhere at Monations. They made a big spectacle of that information, but I can't find that information anywhere on the internet, and I can't find it on Monat's website either. You would think if they're making a big deal out of it and promoting it to their own reps that information should kind of be a big deal on their website, because not gonna lie, that sounds really impressive, does it not? 1,800 people clinical study at a university medical center. That sounds legit to me. But that's not at all what the Monat website is saying about this product line. So I'm very confused. If anyone can shed any light on this, I would be happy to hear it. All I know is that something is not adding up here, and I don't really have faith in this woman to give us accurate information either. But we're not done, okay? On top of that, she says that this product line shows 92% less hair fall, which does match up to the statistic on the Monat website. It does claim that to be true. But then she also made this point to really drive home that it is, quote, clinically proven to make your hair grow. The Monat website says that 8 of 10 consumers felt the product helped improve their hair growth. I'm sorry, ma'am, but 8 out of 10 consumers self-reporting that they felt it improved hair growth is not the same thing as clinically proven to make your hair grow. Nice try, nice way to flip that around, but it's not true. What she's saying on her Instagram story is false information. Self-reporting and personal testimony does not equate to fact. Is it not just so fascinating to see how they totally just pick and choose what little bits of information they want to share, and then they just completely jumble it all around, mess with the wording, and misrepresent the truth when they regurgitate it on their social media platforms? Let this be a lesson that when we hear MLM reps going on their social media, spewing words that sound really fancy and really official and really convincing, there's a good chance that at least some of it is fabricated. At this point, making as many videos as I've made, doing this for as long as I have, I don't trust a thing that comes out of an MLM rep's mouth when it comes to them promoting their business or their products. It's sad, but I always just assume that they're lying about something. I have proven that to be true way too many times to just trust them outright.
This is honestly going to be a game changer for everyone, because there's not one single person in the world who doesn't want to see growth, especially as they're getting older and they're starting to notice more hair fallout. Maybe you're dealing with postpartum, maybe you had hair loss from medical conditions, whatever it is. So many people's lives are going to be changed by this, because we all know that our hair is something that affects our confidence, right? So if our hair is not doing its best, our confidence doing our best, and we all want our confidence to be high. So this is like, I'm so excited for it. It's going to change the lives of so many people, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped. And I'm even more excited because right now we have an exclusive pre-sale on it. It's like, it just launched a couple days ago and they're doing a pre-sale on it, so it's available to you right now. Literally right now, you can get the entire system for $92, okay? But here's the thing, you only have until tomorrow to get your hands on this, okay? $92 for the entire system. This is an exclusive pre-sale that is available to you right now. So if you want to take advantage of this, make sure that you send me a DM ASAP. What I'll do, I will build you a cart and I will email it over to you. So you don't have to deal with the website or anything. All you do is open up that email, you check out, and you're all set up. It's going to get shipped to your front door and you get to start using it right away and start tracking that growth. Guys, they saw results within 60 days. 60 days, 2 months of using a different shampoo and conditioner and putting a little bit of a scalp serum on, and you're going to see growth. Like, I'm so freaking excited for this.
Notice the urgency about it. It's always go, 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 get it right now at an exclusive price for a limited time. And that's a sales strategy on the part of the company for sure. But I would argue that that sale price is not so much targeted at retail customers as it is targeted towards their own market partners, their own reps. Because think about it, if you've joined an MLM opportunity and you've taken on this responsibility to sell and promote these products, you better have an experience with the products to be able to sell them. It's kind of expected of you that you buy and try and promote the products, right? There's this really explicit pressure put on people. Go, 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 buy it right now. And I have to imagine that that is an intentional thing on the part of the company to put these products on sale immediately after launching them to incentivize their own reps to run out and buy them right away. Think about it. What legitimate company launches a brand new product immediately at a discount? I worked at Ulta for several years in college, and not once did I see a hair care, skincare, or cosmetics brand ever do this. If it's a brand new product hot on the market, there's already a naturally high demand for it, and no legitimate company is going to cut into their profits by starting out selling it at a discount. Why would you do that? If a legit brand is going to discount their products at all, it's going to be months or years down the line, or they're going to put it on clearance when they're discontinuing it, but they will never launch a product at a discount. But as I keep saying, I think that MLMs and Monat specifically do this so that they can incentivize their own reps to go and buy it. They're not worried about legit outside retail customers. They want their own people to go and make them a quick buck. Okay, the next thing I want to show you, this next huge fail, is something kind of unique. I've never showed something like this before, but what I'm going to show you is actually an email that I got from a viewer, and the thing that he emailed me, he told me was also exactly what he commented on one of my previous videos. So recently I posted a video of a Young Living Zoom call, and it was hosted by a couple of Young Living reps, and they were explaining how you can use the products during pregnancy and postpartum. If you have not had a chance to watch that video, it's a pretty shocking and very problematic one. Maybe I'm biased, but I think it's very entertaining. I can link that below if you want to check that out after this video. But a viewer of mine commented on that video, and he also sent this text to me in an email where he did the math and he calculated the cost of every single product that was recommended in that Zoom call. Here's a screenshot of that entire comment. It is ginormous. It is nearly impossible to read. I get that, I know. So what I did is I went back and I pinned this comment to the top of the comment section on the Young Living Zoom call if you want to go through and read it in detail. But basically what this comment says is, quote, "As a baseline, I am assuming a 270-day pregnancy and a 30-day postpartum period. I will put the discounted rate first and then the retail price in brackets." And then he goes through the video and he timestamps, I love him for this, whoever you are, he timestamps exactly where they recommend every product, and then he tells you how much that product is going to cost you if you chose to use it throughout your pregnancy and postpartum period. And then at the very, very bottom of this huge list of recommendations, he totals it up. And the final cost for everything that these Young Living reps are recommending you get for pregnancy and postpartum comes out to be $4,395.75. That's if you are a Young Living rep and you are getting the Young Living discount, or $5,783.99 at Young Living's retail price. My analytical heart is singing right now. I love the attention to detail. I love the hard numbers and the facts, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing this myself and totaling it up and putting it in the video. But the point is obviously the absurd fact that these Young Living reps are recommending somewhere in the ballpark of $4,000 to $5,000 worth of products that pregnant and postpartum women need to have. That number is staggering when you see it broken down like this. I could not believe it when I saw the totals. $4,000 to $5,000 of oils and supplements and personal hygiene products that they are telling you need to have if you're pregnant or postpartum. Like, I just cannot wrap my head around that number. And I'm sorry to spoil this for you if you haven't seen that video yet, but their recommendations were sketchy at best. Pretty much all of their product recommendations were given on the basis of like, this worked for me, or I enjoyed using this, or in my personal experience, right? Almost nothing they suggested was rooted in research or professional recommendations. In fact, sometimes what they were recommending would actually directly contradict what a healthcare professional or your OBGYN would advise you to do. I, as a pregnant person, took not one single product suggestion of theirs seriously enough or legitimate enough to be worth spending my money on. But it doesn't really matter what I think because I'm not the target audience here. The target audience is made up of people who are already in Young Living and they are attending their weekly Zoom call with their uplines, where they sit there and they listen to their own teammates pitch them products, and that is scary. Non-Young Living reps like myself are not easily convinced that we need $4,000 to $5,000 worth of oils to have a healthy pregnancy, but the Young Living reps on this call listening might be convinced, and that's worrisome. Do I think every rep listening is going to go add all of these to their cart and buy it? No, I don't. But it is a good example of how people who join MLMs are putting themselves at risk of being put into debt by being a part of that company, because it's become part of their routine now to sit on these calls and to be pitched products they may or may not actually need. If you're not in Young Living, it would never cross your mind that you need any of those kinds of products during your pregnancy. I know it didn't cross my mind, but if you're regularly subjecting yourself to being a part of these team calls where you're being told how badly you need these kinds of products for these certain circumstances, you're probably going to be more susceptible to buying into those claims and purchasing purchasing products you don't actually need. And that's one of the ways that MLM reps dig themselves a hole of debt. They join the business opportunity thinking that they're going to sell the product, earn a commission, and make money. But what ends up happening is they become the primary customer themselves. And they start purchasing all these products that they wouldn't have otherwise considered or been exposed to. It's very, very sad when you think about it. And I want to say thank you to this viewer of mine who took the precious time out of their life to tally all of this up and to find the timestamps and to come up with these staggering numbers, because it really does give us some context as to how much people in MLMs are pushed to buy their own products. It's crazy. And that is one of the ways that people end up spending more of their own money than they ever make back. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you, somebody sent me this photo that a Plexus rep posted of their company's breast examination kit. And it's clearly marketed for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? The pink ribbons. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is unclear to me if they sell this kit year round or if this is just something they launch every October. I'm not really sure. But regardless, this examination kit is $35 and probably one of the biggest ripoffs I've ever seen. It says on the packaging, this device enhances sensitivity while performing your monthly breast self-exam. Just looking at the photo, I'm like, how do you use this? What's going on here? But I found this video of somebody in Plexus showing us how it's used.
So this is what it has. It is latex-free polyurethane, and then inside it's a natural fluid that sits between these two layers of plastic. So here's what you do. You heat it up, you rub it between your hands for just a few seconds and get it warm to body temperature. Then you lay it over your breast and you do your exam. You can see on my hands, just rubbing here, I can feel like my knuckles way better than I can if I'm just feeling right here. It's just very different. This works like a magnifying glass for your fingertips while you're doing your self-exam. So it's recommended that you do it with your hands first and then do it with this over top. And notice the difference. It is very different. I have tried this, and you can try it once you get yours at home. Place your breast check kit on a paper plate or even on the table. Put salt underneath it, and you'll be able to feel very differently than you will with just your hand if you use the breast check kit. So I highly recommend this. I really feel like this is a valuable tool that could change your monthly exam for the better.
Okay, look, I am in full support of checking yourself regularly. Catching any changes early is key here, and I think performing self-examinations is a great habit to get in. But let me tell you something, okay? You do not need to spend $35 on a gimmicky product in order to do a self-examination. I actually have a little bit of personal experience in this area. I did a self-examination a few years ago, and I did find a lump on my left side. Sorry if this is TMI, I promise it's relevant. This was the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to me. It's so scary to find something like that, but of course I was glad to have caught it, so I immediately contacted my doctor, and that set me off on this path of seeing several different specialists over the next couple of years. Everything was fine, by the way. I had ultrasounds, I had a biopsy, I had a surgery to remove it actually. It ended up being benign, everything's okay, thank goodness. But I was kind of thinking back over my experience of this, and I'm like, okay, between the diagnosis and the testing and the surgery and all of that, I saw 6 different doctors or breast specialists in 5 different facilities in 2 different states while I was dealing with this. And not once did any of these professionals use anything other than their hands to perform an exam. They didn't whip out a device like this. They didn't need any kind of special equipment. Okay, they would walk over to the sink, wash their hands, do the exam. And in my personal experience, as far as I know, this kind of product does not exist in the professional setting. It's not a thing. Doctors don't use this. This product is a gimmick that, in my opinion, Plexus decided to start selling as a way to capitalize off of the breast cancer awareness movement, to make some quick money by selling women a product that they think they need when they don't actually need it. Plexus is a supplement MLM. Why are they selling these random breast examination devices? It feels very out of place and like a cash grab to me, honestly. And again, don't get me wrong, check yourself. It's a good thing. It is so important, and awareness around this topic is highly necessary. But you do not need to go buy a Plexus breast self-examination kit in order to perform your self-exam. It's a bit problematic to me that they're making the claim that using their product can increase your sensitivity sensitivity, therefore kind of implying that if you don't use their product, you might miss a lump. It just feels scummy to me. It gives me icky vibes. Additionally, there's nothing on the Plexus website to suggest that any of the proceeds of the sale of this product go to any kind of breast cancer research foundation like Susan G. Komen or anything like that. It appears like Plexus is kind of preying on a woman's fear that they're going to miss a lump when they do their self-examination. So then they're selling this unnecessary product and they're pocketing all the profits from that. Ew, like it just feels gross, does it not? Please check yourself, catch any changes early, but you don't need to support an MLM company buying this kind of product. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you, this is a Facebook post that was shared with me on Google Drive, and the person who shared it with me put this in the little description box. It says, "This is an acquaintance of mine. Her son has been missing for 2 days. He's 17. Instead of making him the center of everything, she is literally using his missing status to push her Thrive business. I was disgusted. I didn't say anything to her. I just sent the screenshot to you. If you decide to share, please don't use my name or hers. I would also like to add that she is a habitual boss babe. In the short time I've known her, she has sold LuLaRoe, Black Oxygen Organics, Elamir, Beachbody, Trinant, and Epiphany. Those are just the ones that I can think of right now. I pray that he returns home safely. I wish she saw how horrible it is that she did this." And here's the Facebook post. It says, "Y'all, I have never in my entire freaking life ever felt a mix of emotions like I do right now. I'm so freaking worried about my son and for his safety. All of the choices he has made, and what do I do when/if he even gets back? And yet on the other hand, I have a once in a lifetime opportunity that has landed in my freaking lap that I couldn't even be more excited about because of who I am partnering with, the heart of the CEO. All the products we have missed and wanted in our lives. The timing of this couldn't be better or worse, honestly, considering the situation I'm in, but I feel it would be a disservice not to share, as I truly believe this is unlike anything I've ever been a part of. Staying busy will help my mental state, so please, if you are curious, reach out because truly this is not something you want to miss out on." Girl, doing us a disservice by not promoting your MLM business opportunity? I think you're doing yourself a disservice by wasting even an ounce of your energy on your MLM when your son is missing. I don't mean to mom shame or be judgmental, but what are you doing? What are you thinking? I have watched enough true crime documentaries to know that if my child goes missing or I can't get in contact with them or I don't know where they are, I'm contacting local authorities. I'm filing a missing persons report. I'm on the phone to every person who has ever known that child asking if they know where he is. I'm arranging a search party. I'm posting flyers. And you know what I'm not doing? I'm not making time for anything else, especially not making time to go on my Facebook page and promote my freaking pyramid scheme. Are you actually kidding me? Don't you think your MLM pitch can wait? Don't you think you have some higher priorities at this exact moment? According to the U.S. Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the first 24 to 48 hours after the disappearance of a child are the most crucial in order to return the child back home. And this woman is posting about her MLM business opportunity within that 48-hour window of her child going missing. I'm fuming. I did some digging on her Facebook page, and although the person who sent this screenshot to me said she thought that she was promoting her Thrive business, it actually appears to me that she's promoting the company Awakened. This is a new MLM on the scene that I haven't had a chance to talk about on my channel yet. I definitely plan to, but what do they sell? Weight loss supplements. Revolutionary. And the timing of all of these posts works out perfectly because she made this post back in August. That's when Awakened kind of came onto the scene and they were in their pre-launch phase. They were finding all their new reps. And I believe just now in October is when they're actually launching their company. And this does match up to the phrasing in her post too, of like, this opportunity landed in my lap. It's unlike anything I've ever been a part of, because in her eyes, it's a ground floor opportunity. She's getting in before the company even launched. All of her posts since then have been about these weight loss supplements and these crazy results. She's pretty shady about not sharing the name of the company, but all the signs point to Awakened. But anyway, Anyway, I promise you that no person out there in the entire world cares about hearing about your weight loss supplements when your child is missing. I promise you it can wait and people will understand. Fortunately, it also appears from her Facebook page that her son has been located in recent weeks. It seems like it may have been kind of like a runaway teenager situation where he's not currently back home, but at least his mom knows where he is. But in my opinion, that does not excuse her behavior for pitching her MLM in the midst of all of this. It just goes to show how deeply indoctrinated into these cults people can get, and that their brain functions in such a way that they think this behavior is okay. This is similar to what I've shown in other videos of people promoting their MLM right after their parents' funeral, right after they had to put down a pet, right after they gave birth, while they're still in the hospital after a tragic accident. It's truly heartbreaking that people in these companies feel as if they are not deserving of those private moments or not deserving to take time to rest, to grieve, to heal, whatever it is, and that they truly feel that pitching their opportunity takes priority in those moments. It is so sad. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. And it's infuriating that these kinds of business opportunities make these people feel this way, that they have no choice and that they aren't able to take that time for themselves, and that pitching the MLM is always what's most important to them. Okay, on a more lighthearted note, here is a Kangen water rep trying to make the claim that although you're not allowed to take liquids through the TSA checkpoints at airports, their special medical grade Kangen water is allowed through. Am I being punked? This is too good. If you don't know what Kangen water is, the MLM company Enagic sells these water filters called the Kangen water filters. They're like thousands and thousands of dollars, and the reps in this company are convinced to a scary degree that drinking this water makes them invincible or something, okay? It's very strange. Does TSA have a magical machine that can distinguish between Kangen water and Dasani? I think not. Here's the liquids rule from the TSA website, and I am sure you're familiar with this rule if you have traveled on an airplane within the last 16 years. If you're carrying luggage through security and onto the plane, you're only allowed liquids in containers of 3.4 ounces or less. The reason we have this rule today is because in 2006, British security uncovered this whole plot, like this liquid bomb plot, where people were going to be carrying through hydrogen peroxide onto the plane in very large quantities, and they were going to assemble a bomb mid-flight. But according to a New York Times article, it says tests show that a container of a certain size is needed for effective explosion. Separate 3-ounce containers, limited in number to what will fit inside a single 1-quart bag, do not have enough critical diameter to blow up an aircraft. So the point is that the liquids rule was put in place not necessarily to manage the type of liquid being carried onto a plane, but rather the quantity of liquid. TSA agents aren't going to care if you're trying to carry through your magical pyramid scheme water, okay? If it's not in a 3.4 ounce container, they're gonna make you dump it out. In fact, here's a comment left on this video that was posted to Facebook. This person says, as a TSA employee, I can confirm this to be 100% fake. She is handed the bottle back on the before scan location for her to dump out. Any certificate claim that you would show means nothing, and it's posted all over our website. So there you go. Someone who works for TSA is even saying there's no way that we would let her through with this quantity of water, regardless of what kind of liquid it is. And do you know how easy this video would be to fake? TSA makes you dump out your water bottle before you go through security, and you just fill it up at a water bottle refill station on the other side, and you can pretend that your magic water made it through. Just because they're showing us this picture of them on the airplane with their full water bottles means exactly nothing. What they probably had to do was dump it out and refill it and pretend like their Kangen water made it through. And now that we're sitting here talking about this, I'm like, why is this even a thing? Why is this a claim that you're trying to make about Kangen water? This is probably the weirdest product claim I've ever seen, that, oh, our product can make it through security at an airport. Like, who cares? But it kind of goes to show how obsessed with this water these people are, that they're trying to make this claim that it has an exception through TSA security checkpoints, and that they would never dare travel with anything other than Kangen water. Like, this is so bizarre. This next thing is a TikTok video where this MLM rep is responding to somebody else's comment. The comment just simply says, "What's the business?" And here is her response to that very simple question.
So to keep this long story very short, When I was 22, I became a brand new mom and a brand new wife.
No, sister. Already, we ain't making this very short. The question is, what's the business? The answer to this question is 1 or 2 words, okay? The short way to answer it is just tell us the name of your company. What's the business? There is no need to tell us your whole life story. That's not the question you were asked. Just tell us what pyramid scheme you're in. That's all we want to know.
I was a full-time hairstylist. I was running a salon as a salon manager. And I was like, oh my God, my life's finally made it. But I had no idea that once I had my own kids, like how my focus and my goals were going to change. While I was pregnant, my husband lost his job, so he was working 3 side jobs. He was miserable. We were fighting all the time about money. I was already gone so much that when I wasn't at the salon, I didn't want to come home and have to get another part-time job somewhere else. Because quite honestly, also, childcare is freaking expensive. So I had heard of a million different things that you could do from home, and I'd tried other companies and other businesses, and nothing just aligned until I found this one. It was very inexpensive to get started. There was help, training, support, guidance. Before, when I had done things in the past, it was just like sign up, good luck, like figure it out. You hear things like scam and pyramid scheme or whatever. But when I looked at how you get paid, it's actually the exact same as how I got paid at the salon, which is crazy.
Oh, you get paid the same through your MLM as you did working in a salon? Did your salon pay you bonuses to recruit other stylists to come and also work in the salon? I doubt it.
So I realized, okay, so I totally understand how we get paid. There's not a bunch of inventory and all that kind of crap like my mom had, back in the 90s when she was trying to make some extra money. I don't know what it is, but I feel this feeling in my gut, and so I'm going to get started. One time to get started in this business was cheaper than putting gas in my car every single week to be able to make an extra income just from my phone at home, or, you could be working, whatever it is. Car line. My goal was to make $150 every single month. I thought if I could make $500, like, whoa. And I did both of those so quick within my first 2 months. It literally blew my mind. So if you're looking for something that you can do, it's from your phone because it's from social media. On your schedule, whether you already have a job, you're at home, you're looking for a way to support yourself, this could be literally the most perfect fit for you. If you go to the link in my bio, there's a work with me little button. Click that, fill that out, and then DM me. I applied on Instagram. The reason is because the messaging system on TikTok sucks. And I would love to learn more about you, your family, your goals, your dreams, and align this up with you in a way that will fit perfectly for you.
So, what's the business? She just spoke for 2.5 minutes and did not answer the question. Instead, she gave her story, she made some income claims, and then she directed you to a Google form where she can get your contact info to pitch you in private. Typical Hun behavior, honestly. And it took me some digging on her profile to find what MLM she's in, okay? Any last guesses? I assumed it was Monat because she is explaining her previous experience working in a salon. But she's actually in It Works. And that fact is so well hidden on her social media profiles. I only figured out it was It Works because she was talking about a certain product she likes to take, and she was like pouring it into a cup, and I paused the frame and I zoomed in and I typed into Google what I think the product packaging said, and it brought me back to the It Works website. Why is she hiding the fact that she's in It Works? Why is she being so shady about concealing the company name if it's such a wonderful opportunity? Because MLM reps these days are encouraged and trained to not come forth with their company name right up front. They're trained to conceal that information and to make that a secret. Because if they put their company name out there for all to see and for all to find really easily, those curious people are going to go on Google and type in the name of the company and come across videos like this one. And that's really bad for business. You can't have people digging around on the internet finding all the information you're actively trying to hide from them. Instead, you need to direct them to a Google form, get their contact information, start pitching them in private over the phone, on a Zoom call, in their DMs, where you have a chance to really sell them on that opportunity first, to hook them in, to get them interested, to potentially even get them to sign up for it before they have the chance to go on the internet and to research the company for themselves. And that alone says a lot about what these companies have to offer. If their reps are not out there loud and proud and advertising the name of their company and being really open and upfront about it, red flags all over it. If it was truly an ethical company and a fantastic business opportunity, there wouldn't be all this information out there on the internet that they're trying to hide and protect you from. I just think this is so hilarious that someone's like, what's the business? What's the company? And she rambles for almost 3 minutes and never answers the question. That's just so typical. The next thing I have to show you, this is a screenshot of a reel posted by a Monat rep, and it says, it only takes making $274 per day to make $100,000 per year. There are so many ways to make money from your phone. I can teach you how to build an online beauty business. You can do it. With a little poll down there where you can click info or teach me. So her math is correct, okay? 274 multiplied by 365 days in a year, that does equate to $100,000. What does not add up here and what does not make sense is the likelihood of someone who joins Monat being able to actually make $274 a day from it. Obviously, what's being implied here is that if you join the business opportunity, she can show you the secret to making $100,000 every year from it. Now, here's the income disclosure statement, okay? We love referring to the actual numbers. And remember that for the purpose of this kind of analysis, we don't look at the average annual earnings, we look at the median annual earnings, because that gives us a more accurate representation of what most people at that rank are actually making. So the income disclosure statement for Monat shows us that it isn't until the rank of associate executive director that we start seeing people actually making $100,000 per year or more. That means that you would have to make it to the top 0.04% of the company to see these kinds of earnings that she is advertising in this reel. In other words, 99.96% of people do not make $100,000 a year from it. They don't make $274 a day. Additionally, even if you were to make $100,000 from Monat every year, it is nearly impossible to do that from sales alone. Those people at the tippy top making this kind of money don't do it from product sales. They make that money off of their recruitment efforts and off of the people below them in their downlines. Because according to the Monat compensation plan, you only make a 30% commission on your product sales. So if you wanted to make $274 a day from selling product alone, you would have to sell at least $913 worth of Monat products to retail customers every single day for an entire year. Ask yourself, do you have a customer pool big enough to sustain nearly $1,000 of product sales every single day? Odds are, most likely not. Most people don't have customer pools that big, especially when the primary way you find customers is by cold messaging strangers on Instagram. So if you can't make that kind of money through selling, then you make it through recruiting instead. Moral of the story, as always, is that the people who make the serious money in these MLM companies are those who made it to the top of the pyramid and they have gigantic downlines. And it's this kind of messaging in this reel that I want to warn people against, because when you're looking at this, she makes it sound so easy. Just make $274 a day from your phone. How hard could it be? I'll show you how to do it. But when you look at the actual facts and the actual numbers, you realize it's very hard, actually. Do your own research, look at the facts, find these documents released by these companies, look at the actual numbers, and do not rely on the false narratives that their representatives post on social media to try and suck you in. What I have to show you next is kind of hilarious. This is a reel from an Arbonne rep, but there is copyrighted music over it, so I'm just going to read you what the text says. This says, "You might think I sell health and wellness products, and I do, of course, but what I really sell is love and happiness. I sell opportunity. I sell hope. I sell growth. I sell vision. I sell clarity. I sell purpose. I sell fulfilling your potential. I also sell health, which is a part of love and happiness. Point blank, you join me and you will become a happier person that is more loved and is believed in." Wow, what a claim. Want to be believed in? Want to be loved? Want to be happy? Let's do this. Oh my God. Here's what's totally hilarious about this is that she is completely correct that she does sell more than health and wellness products. I think you could build a pretty strong case that the products are actually the secondary thing being sold in an MLM. The products are not the main focus. What you're actually selling, what she's admitting to, is a dream, an opportunity, a lifestyle, a false sense of hope that being a part of this company is going to bring you wealth wealth and happiness. The products are not really what's sold in an MLM, it's the opportunity. That's how the MLM thrives. MLM companies couldn't stay afloat if they just sold products, because oftentimes the products are mediocre quality and extremely expensive. The main way that you make money is you sell people a dream so that they sign up for the business opportunity and you can profit off of them. The compensation plans of these companies are structured in such a way that they reward recruitment far more generously than they do selling the product. According to the Arbonne compensation plan, here's the amount of money you can make by selling the product alone. You can make a 35% commission on your clients and a 15% commission on sales to your preferred customers. Now here is the kind of money you can make by building a team and recruiting people. Clearly, recruitment has a higher earning potential than just selling the products. The team building is what's incentivized. It's not rocket science. So this Arbonne rep, who is straight up admitting that she sells hopes and dreams and love and happiness and puppies and rainbows and unicorn dust, is highly accurate. The true product in an MLM is not the physical product at all. What you're really selling is the opportunity. The part of this reel in particular that I take a huge issue with is this one, where it says point blank, you join me and you will become a happier person that is more loved and believed in. It doesn't get much more predatory than that, does it? Because what kind of person is this messaging going to strike a chord with? This is going to appeal to people who don't feel as happy or as loved or as believed in as they would like, and this is sending the message that if you sign up for Arbonne, you're going to get those things. This is not a product claim, this is not an income claim, this is kind of like an emotional claim almost. It's not even about the money or the products at this point. She's straight up saying in the most explicit way that you will be loved and have that community, and we will believe in you if you join our opportunity. I mean, MLM reps get their panties in a wad and get so upset and offended when we call their behaviors predatory and we call them out for preying on the vulnerabilities of others. But then they go out and they post stuff like this and they wonder why we call them predatory. This is probably one of the most icky and disgusting reels I've seen in a long, long time. And with that, my friends, that's everything I have to show you for this MLM Top Fails video. I am sweating. I'm feeling very worked up by this. Again, if you come across anything on social media that you think would be a good fit for these kinds of videos and you think is worth a discussion, please don't hesitate to send it to me. I structure these videos based on what gets sent to me. So as a reminder, the instructions for how to do that are in the description box below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me through another video. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.